Welcome Professor Dr. Ruby Bakshi Khurdi. She holds a doctorate and master in business administration, and she specialized in human resources management. And she's also an award-winning international motivational speaker and leadership coach and trainer. And last year she received, for example, the award for Exceptional Woman of Excellence at the Women Economic Forum in Lisbon. And so Professor Khurdi will speak about free will, responsibility, and human values. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Finally, you come to the last speaker of the day, and I hope you are not sleeping because we just had a very wonderful musical interlude. We really enjoyed it, and as I told you, music does therapy. It is a therapy, and that's why I'm here smiling, despite the fact that we had a long day, but we are still here smiling and be ready to hear this presentation, because it's not just me who's going to talk, I'm going to make you talk. So you have to be attentive. Do not doze off to sleep. You have to be with me, because what we are doing is, as the topic says, is free will, responsibilities, and human values. So when I say free will, what comes to your mind? What do you think is free will? If I just pose this question to you, what is free will to you? Anyone? Like what flashes the first thing in your mind?
Ability to make my own choices.
Ability to make your choices, yes?
Freedom to choose.
Freedom to choose, wonderful.
To do what I want.
Exactly. Freedom to do what I want to do. So all the words, if you see, everyone said similar things, but in a different way. He said with what I want to do, with conviction. And after hearing the musical interlude, right now, my free will is something, because when he was playing it, I really wanted to dance with it, because I like dancing. So when he was doing that, I was so engrossed with it, I just wanted to dance with the music. But of course, when you're here, you can't do that. But I'm just going to start my presentation with a one-line bhajan of Krishna, so that you're all here with me and just picking up from where he left, Krishna. I don't know whether you know this song or not, but it's just one-liner. मैंने रंग ली आज चुनरिया, मैंने रंग ली आज चुनरिया, कान्हा तोरे रंग में, श्यामा तोरे रंग में, कान्हा तोरे रंग में, मैंने रंग दी आज चुनरिया, श्यामा तोरे रंग में. So that was my free will, because I wanted to sing about Krishna. But here the question is, based on all the questions, the answers that you gave, do we actually have a free will? I'm sure on a Saturday evening, most of you must be wanting at this point of time just to go home, have coffee, have tea, relax. But you're sitting here. It's your will. It's your free will. You are not forced to do it. No one is putting you at a gunpoint. Be here, or you're obliged to be here. Nothing of that sort. But still you are here. So free will, as the term says, is the power or the ability to choose. Most important thing, ability to choose, as you said. And from those choices that you make, you are responsible for it. No one else. You can't hold anyone else responsible. You are solely responsible for what you choose and what you want to do. And in here, as the situation is completely going with to act in certain situations independently of natural, social, and divine restraints. No one is forcing you, but sometimes you say, I just did it because my parents wanted to do me. I just did that because he wanted me to do this. But the free will is totally free. It doesn't want people to tell you, or it doesn't want people to explain you. You have the choice. And believe me, when you make the choice, you are the happiest one. It's not something that you can tell tomorrow, you are responsible, or I did that because you wanted me to do. In here, of course, we are all the only creatures on the earth who have this decision of making a conscious or unconscious way of thinking. We had the discussions during the day about conscious thinking or subconscious thinking, and I wanted to say at that point of time that it is the normative expectations of each other that make evaluative judgments when those expectations are satisfied or breached. It's very important for all of us sitting in this room to just say, I'm here because I want to do this, or I chose that profession. Yes, you choose a profession that you like to do since you were small. A lot of people, they say, oh, I always used to play doctor, and today I'm a successful doctor. Or there are a lot of people who say, when I was small, I used to take my grandmothers, because in India we are used to living in joint families. So I used to tell, you don't know ABCD? Because she was not really educated. And I would write on the board, on the wall, and I would teach her ABCD. And a lot of people in my house would say, oh, it looks like she wants to become a teacher. But of course, I didn't have any inclination at that point of time to become a teacher. It was just something I used to do as a hobby. Instead of playing with Barbies or dolls, I used to teach. And here I am standing in front of you as a professor of business management. So it just comes naturally. To some people, you see those things from the beginning. But at the end of the day, you decide whether you want to take it as a free will or a forced will. How many of you, if I pose this question, had a dream, I want to become this or I want to do that when I grow up, and you are doing that? Can I see the hands? How many of you had that dream? One. Okay, just one person. Come on, raise your hands. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And rest of you, you dreamt something else and you're doing something else?
The dream changes also over time.
Okay, yes, that's true. When you're small, you have some dreams. When you grow, the dreams keep on changing and keep on becoming more defined. And that's what is termed as, when we say here, why did you do that and how should we behave? There are a lot of situations that you think about something because at that point of situation, it is the best thing. Like when you were giving the speech, you thought, I'm doing the best thing because that is what I'm here for. But once that thing is done, once that thing is over, you sit there on that chair and think, oh, I made so many mistakes. I had to look there, but I was looking here. I had to look up because I was talking something about look at the sky, but I was not looking at the sky, I was looking down. It's the rewinding things in your brain. You start doing that. No one is telling you to do that, but it's just something because we always want to learn from our mistakes and we always rewind what we had done wrong so that in the future, it is like our own self-learning lesson. We improve on it. So coming back to the slide here, as it says, we are the only creatures in here who are responsive for our own actions. And as the term says, we have a reason to be responsible for our own actions. And it's important. Why? Because if you are in a place where you're forced to do something, you are at a gunpoint and someone says, you have to do it. If you don't do, I'm going to kill you. What would you do? How many of you would just follow the instructions of the guy with the gun? Come on. It's either yes or no. It can't be, I will partially do. You can't do 50-50. It's either yes or no.
It depends on what.
Okay. At a gunpoint, if he's telling you something which you are morally not inclined to do, you would never do in your conscious senses. But because you're at a gunpoint, it's the matter of life and death, right?
Well, if I have to kill somebody else.
You wouldn't do that.
Maybe not.
Okay. Yes?
It is not the gun point, it's the money back point. That's the problem.
Very good. Today in world of business, we say money back. It's very important. It's very important for some of us, even during these situations, which are dire situations, a matter of life and death. How many are actually conscious? How many actually think, yes, I will never compromise on my morals? Or who cares? If I am alive, I will be living a life after and I will go to Ganga take a shower and be away with all the sins that I did. There are a lot of ways people can, do things which are completely wrong, completely unethical, but then they do things to make it ethical, which is a very common belief. People do it all the time. But at the end of the day, you are responsible for whatever you do, and as social beings, man is a social animal. So sometimes, with the example that Dimitri gave before, sometimes, you choose whether you want to go with the flower and nectar, or you want to go with something which is completely not your type. You choose the people, yourself. It's again your free will to decide. But at the end of the day, whichever side you choose, whether you choose something nice, something good, or something which is not at all good, you feel you made a choice, and again it is situational, as you say. All the things that we do with the free will are all situational. Because we make a decision on the basis of how good it is at that point of time, or how bad it could be if I had not taken that decision. And in here, if you see, the very thing which is important for us to see is that the free will combines two main concepts. The two main concepts is free is the chance and randomness of the micro mind, and the will is the adequately determined choice of the macro mind, and these occur in a temporal sequence. Nothing is gonna be static. Nothing is gonna be going as it is going for a long period of time. And living in a technological era as of now, it is like a cyclical process. Some days it's good, some days it's bad. Some days you're high, like, yippee, I did that, I got that project. And someday you're like, the other guy got the project, I have nothing, I just lost it. It's normal. In life, if every time you have all the goods, all the highs, you're never going to take the name of Lord. You're never going to say, oh God, I need your help. If you all think, as a flashback, every one of us or each one of us thinks about God when we are in stress or when we have a problem. Very few are the people or the fortunate ones or I would say people with moral responsibility who think about it as their moral responsibility to do it, take the name every day. Without failure, without thinking about the plus and minus of your life, you just do it. And in here, the debate for free will is something that goes on and on. It's like something that never stops because it's you who's controlling. You are the mastermind. You have the remote control of it. When you are in a good mood, everything in the free will goes the positive direction. The takeoff is always positive. But the moment you have something which is not going the way you want it to go, the flight may take off in the negative direction, which again is your will. You make a decision. No one else is telling you to do that. I wanted to come back on this example. If someone pushes me and I fall hard, my emotional response is, why was I pushed? Who pushed me? That's your immediate response, your reflex in your mind. Was it done because there was a train coming or there was a car coming or something which could be hazardous or dangerous for my life? If yes, you feel happy. You say, thank you so much for saving my life. You feel that this guy is like your lifesaver. But if you think or if you have the reflex that guy did that to push you, to be bad with you or to be nasty with you, immediately your reflex is boom. You give him harder one on the face because he tried to put danger to your life. He was bad to you. Gone are really the days, as he said we are living in Kali Yuga. Even though Gandhiji talked about non-violence, he said, if someone slaps you, you give him your other cheek. He slaps there, you give him another time. He keeps on slapping and after a period of time, he'll be tired. He'll say, he's not reacting. I am tired of hitting this guy and he's not reacting the way I want him to react. Gone are the days. We have very few people who still behave like this because we live in Kali Yuga. This is Kali Yuga wherein We have some Krishnas as saviors, we have some people as saviors who think the positivity, who think we have to be together and do something which is positive, which brings about happiness in this world. It's not often when we talk about things wherein the philosophers think of the rosy pictures, all the positivities, the good things. But do you think all these things actually are going on in your day-to-day life now? Do you think, we are talking about Kali Yuga, but do you think we can bring about Satyug back? We can bring about more positivity, more happiness, more nice things in the world? Is it possible? How? How is it possible? And who can do it? The first question is how, and second, who can do it?
I can do it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel happy. I see happiness around me every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because I choose that. It's the way I want to live.
Okay, very good. Somebody else?
I guess it's the perception of perceiving how we perceive things that matters a lot. And this is what Lord Krishna mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita.
Mm-hmm. The way you see things, if you see positive things will happen. But if you think of all the things around you are negative, you have a pessimistic approach. No matter what, you are in a green grass, you are in a 5-star hotel, you are in the best place in the world, but you will never be satisfied. Because all you're seeing, all your eyes are showing you are negativity or the burnt grass, the black grass, or the rough and dry grass. So try to think, as she said, if I try to think positivity around me, if I try to help people around me with my free will, not anybody forcing me to do that, or not anybody telling me, I'm gonna give you X amount of salary if you do this, if you be my happiness manager. These are just posts. These are just designations. I'm going to be your life coach. I'm going to get happiness in your life. I'm going to get tons of money in your life. But you are not just going to sit and wait for the money to fall. There's not going to be any rain of money, or there's not going to be rain of happiness until you don't move your hands. And that exactly is coming to what is termed as a mix of free will leading to responsibility. Free will versus determination. All these things can only happen if you have the will and you are determined to do it. If you don't have the determination, if you just think I can sit in with my hands closed and people will flow happiness, or people will give me money, or it will rain money, it's not gonna happen. Miracles don't happen. Everything has a reason, everything has a logic, and that's where science steps in. You have to have a reasoning about everything, even if it's your choice, you made the decision. But at the end of the day, unless and until you are not determined, nothing is gonna work. You might be living in the best place. Sometimes my family is trying to poke my nose and trying to be after me. You live in the best country in the world. You are having the best conditions around you, but still you say, I'm stressed. Why? Why do you think I am stressed even though I'm in the best place, so healthy, so much, you can do a lot of things with fitness, everything. But why still, even in this part of the world, we hear people saying, I'm stressed. I need to see a psychologist. I need to have a coach to bring some happiness in my life. Why is it now? Why do we need coaches? Or why do we think we are stressed more as compared to many, many years ago?
It's your mindset.
Mindset? Okay. Something else apart from being, yes?
The environment of management, say, for example. You're thinking you're losing your job.
The stress of losing a job makes you work harder, makes you feel more stressed. Okay, yes?
Stress of competition.
Competition, very good. So we have stress, mindset, stress of losing the job. Yes? Attachment, yes. That's a very philosophical way of thinking. Very good. Yes.
Of living somewhere forever.
Yes, that if we leave it, you start thinking, you are not living in the present. The problem is that we don't live in the present. We are always, each one of us is always determined to improve our future, to give the best things to our children, to have a secure future. But in the process, in the rat race, we forget to live our present. We are not focusing on that. We are all in the process of making a good life, a better life, give the best education to our children, give the best facilities to our children, but we are forgetting to take care of the most important thing, that is you, yourself, your body. We need to take care of ourselves first, because if we don't take care of ourselves, no one else is going to do that.
Is that not only egoism?
No, we'll not say it in an egoistic way. When I say think about yourself, I mean like, today you might think, I'm the most important person in this organization. Without me, nothing is gonna work. I'm the CEO, I'm the CFO. Believe me, you don't go for 2 days, you have a problem, your health issue, you break down, you have a burnout, you'll be replaced in 2 days. So each one of us is replaceable. Do not live in the myth or do not live in the bhram that you are not replaceable. I am the most important person. Yes, you are. No doubt about it. But you are only responsible, you are only the best until you are mentally and physically the best inside you also. We need to look in. So if we are good within us, we can do wonders. But the moment we are, we start having burnout or we start breaking in, believe me guys, it's gone. Second person will come and he will become the most important, and you are not even there. You are gone and forgotten. So the question is in your hands. It lies with you. It's like a fist. If you close it, you think, I have it with me. It's closed. I will never lose it. But no, you're making a mistake. You have to keep your palms open so that they can breathe. That's free will. That's why whenever we see the pictures or photos or movies, most of the yogis, they are like this. When you say free will, it's like this. Either the eyes are closed, head is held high, and the eyes or the hands, the palm is always open. Because if you think by closing my fist, I can have it with me forever and ever. No, you can't have it. You are just going to make it difficult for yourself. Because you have to believe in the philosophy, live and let live. And that's only possible with your strong determination. The more determined you are, the more you can go further. And of course, there are many arguments which you can say, when we talk from divine point of view. God knows everything, including everything I will do tomorrow. Please focus what I'm saying. God knows everything, including everything I will do tomorrow. So everything I will do tomorrow is already known. Consequently, I cannot change that, what I will do tomorrow. So why bother? If you think of it, it's a very mystical way of saying, when everything is already predetermined, why make an effort? Why even think? Yes, it is decided, it is destined. But still, you need to make an effort to make it happen. If destiny has it for you, it will happen. But until and unless you don't make an effort, you just sit with your mouth open that the tree will give you the fruits or feed you, it's not going to happen. That's not a miracle. Miracle happens when you make an effort and things go the way they want to happen. As a strong believer of karma, in Hinduism, karma plays a very, very strong role. And I believe it's always the karma that pave your way every day, that pave your way in your day-to-day life. Karma is the concept that every action causes an equal reaction. And that also, science also says the same thing. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. But how we link it with karma, it's a mythology, because whatever you are doing today, you are paving your way for future, positivity or negativity. You do good, you put good seeds, A good tree will come which is loaded with flowers, loaded with fruits. You reap what you are sowing. But if you think, I have invested enough time on my kids, I have done what I wanted to do, now it's my time to live life, and just leave your kids aside, it's not gonna happen. It's like a vicious cycle. Keep on doing karma. Don't think about what I'm going to get. Do not have any expectations. Because if you have expectations, you're not going to be happy. Always go with zero expectations. Always remember, if you have expectations, after all, we have human mind, we always think, we always have, I wish I have this, I wish I have that. The wishes never die. It's true. But if you have expectations and they don't meet, you're not a happy person. It will always be pinching you. I wanted this and I got that. Because you're always in a state of comparison. We always say, there's a saying, Neki kar kuein mein dal, which means you keep on doing good things and put it in the well. Keep on doing good things. You have no account of what you did good, what you did bad. Just keep doing. If it has to happen, God is watching. If those of you who believe in God, God is watching, or there's some supreme power that is watching. It will happen. Something good will happen. Or even if you're not a believer of God, you believe in science, great. Just keep on doing your things without having any expectations, and the results will follow. You do positive things will happen. It might take some time. A lot of people say, oh, I never get good results. I'm helping others, but others don't help me. I'm always there for other people, but they are not there for me. It's true. Good things take time to happen. The result might be slow and steady. It might be steady like a tortoise, but tortoise did win the race when he was having the race with the fastest animal, that is a rabbit. So as we say, slow and steady, win the race. Just keep on doing your things and results will follow. Karma has been taught of or decided or told to people or perceived in three different ways: the thought, the intent, and the action. So if you just have a beautiful thought, if you just have something nice, something that goes with the environment as of now, and you have the intention to make it happen, believe me, nothing can stop you. It will happen. It's just the thinking, the thought process, the concept of that particular thing, that beautiful thing has to be there, and once it is there, other things will just follow. As we say in business, I tell to my students, first thing in marketing is concept development. You should have a concept which is different from others, because in today's rat race, everyone wants to be number one. Everyone wants to be up there. I have to have a best product in the market which gives me a lot of money. True. But for that, your concept, the very, very basic, the first thing in your product life cycle is how unique you are, how different you are. What is your USP? For a product, as we say, what is your USP for human beings? Exactly. Can you say that loudly?
It's the unique selling position.
Exactly. So what is your USP? What is your unique selling proposition, or what is your unique selling point that you stand apart from the rest of the crowd? If there's something different in you, how do you showcase that? If you think you have something different, any one of you can answer that. If you think you have something different, how do you showcase that? How do you show to the people I'm different because... What do you do? Any specific thing that you do?
I think I apply on myself first.
Exactly, you apply on yourself. Yes. What else would you do? Anybody else? What would you do to show that you are different? Yes?
What does it mean? What she said, applying. She spoke about applying.
Applying.
What does it mean?
Applying is like she'll first try to apply it on herself. If she believes in it, it is good. She will try to show it, like she'll give an example. Leading by example. So she'll lead by example. If you have something different, what would you do?
Go public.
Go public, go viral, as we say. In today's world, we say go viral, or you have to position yourself. Position yourself so strong, position yourself so loud and clear that people notice you. But that only happens if you believe in yourself, you know it loud and clear. And that's responsibility, which is the second one. As the term says, we are all responsible for our own actions. Are we? Are we responsible for our own actions? Yes. We are on unison on that point. We are all responsible for our own actions. And Sadhguru says, how many of you know about Sadhguru? He's a yogi. Sadhguru says, responsibility is limitless. You are responsible for your own action. You have to keep on doing. And you can't put the blame on other person because you are responsible. It is limitless. It never stops. If you feel I was born a girl, I'm done with my responsibilities, I'm married, now I'm living with my husband and my children here in Switzerland, I'm good to go. It's not like that. My responsibility towards my parents is still there, even though I'm far away, physically far away from them, but mentally I'm connected. So responsibility never stops. It's a continuous cycle. It's called Pdca. Because I teach business, so I always think about these kind of acronyms. Pdca, which means plan, do, check, act. It's a Pdca of cycle of quality, which never stops. And responsibility, as the term says, is a state or fact of having a duty to deal with something or of having control over someone. We could be responsible for our children. That means you're responsible for them. You could be responsible as a boss over your subordinates. You could be responsible for your patients as a doctor. You could be responsible for someone who is sick, someone who is not well, as a moral responsibility. You could be accountable for anything, but the thing is how much responsible you think you are and how much time you're ready to allocate. Because responsibility doesn't stop only by saying I'm responsible for this person. As a babysitter, you can say I'm responsible for these kids from 9 to 5. Now my role is done. Great, that's your job. That's not just your responsibility. The responsibility is a vicious thing that keeps on going in a good way, not in a bad way vicious, but in a good way that keeps on going. And I have just tried to show it in terms of these clouds because we live in the technological era. So these are the iClouds, my information clouds, which is be accountable for your own actions. When you are doing it with a free will, you are accountable for your actions. Do the right thing, which again is debatable because most of you can say sometimes I'm doing things which I feel are right may not be right for others, which is contradictory. Yes, it is possible. Things which are okay for you may not be okay for someone. So you have, that's the balance that you have to see, how much it goes with your commitments. Keep your commitments, whatever time, whether it's day, whatever commitments you have, you're responsible for them and you have to fulfill those responsibilities. While doing things, it's normal. We are human beings, we make errors, we make mistakes. But don't sit with your hands closed, oh, I made a mistake, I'm stuck. Open your arms, as I said. You have to keep your open arm and the solutions will come. Think and fix those problems. Don't sit with those problems, but think over those problems. Because the more you think, the more grey matter is moving around. It's not in one place, it's not frozen, it's going round and round. The more positivity will come in your life. So when you have these iClouds where you see different responsibilities and you keep on moving from one responsibility to another, we go a little bit mythological, where Bhagwan Shri Krishna tells Arjun in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, I have revealed to you profound and confidential knowledge. Now the choice is in your hands. He could have said a lot of things. I am the man. I am the power. I am Lord Krishna. You are supposed to do that. You have to follow me. But he did not do like this. He said, I gave you the gyan. Now you decide. It's your free will. You are responsible for your action. Go for it. In today's world, we'll say, go for it. So you either choose to go the right way or you choose to go the negative way. It's your choice. And as Krishna told him, now the choice is in your hands. He did what he felt right at that point of time. Then we have another example from Bhagwan Sri Ram. He made a similar statement to the residents of Ayodhya in Ramayan's verse 34 and 35. The advice I have given to you is neither incorrect nor coercive. The advice that I have given to you is neither incorrect nor coercive. Listen to it carefully. Contemplate over it and then do what you wish. When I say coercive is a power that you show by showing some consequences. If you don't do this, I'm going to be bad to you. If you don't do this, I'm going to give you less marks. You're using power in a negative way. That's coercive. So here, Bhagwan Ram tells to the residents, since I'm the king, I'm not telling you by authority. I'm telling you, I'm pleading you, I'm giving you this information. You choose what you want to. So again, we have Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita that talk about free will and responsibility. They go hand in hand. The freedom of choice is not infinite. The freedom of choice is not infinite because one cannot decide if I choose to be the most intelligent person in the world. Our choices are limited by our past and present karmas. And as I said, all of us are so busy trying to improve or have a secure future, we are forgetting to live our present. So my appeal to you is, do not waste time thinking about future all the time. Live life today. Live your present life as of now, every day. Because this day, today, 3rd November 2018, 1745 is not gonna come again. It's gonna go, and when it goes away, it will be next year some other day. So live life fullest every day as it comes and keep on doing things the way they should be. Because if you keep on doing, results will follow. Here I've just tried to show a responsibility chart wherein I say responsibility matters. We have the responsibility of a doctor towards his patients. In the middle, I am there with my students. So responsibility of a teacher towards his students to see that the students are being led or inspired in the right way. Responsibility of children towards their parents. When I say children, they are the adults, married couple, towards their parents who are old, who need love and attention, which I see is not so much in Western world. Because once you are on your own, parents are always on their own and children are in their own world. So in here, we have to have responsibility not just on Father's Day or Mother's Day or on Christmas, but it should be forever and ever. So responsibility of the parents, thank you. So the responsibility of the parents towards their older parents and responsibility as parents towards your children. You are the bridge, you are the link between the old generation and the future generation. And it's very important link. You being there, like right now I'm in the middle of my parents and my children. So we have to be very, very important life decision makers, me and my husband. And all of us who are sitting here as a link between the two generations, try to give the best moral values. Try to be responsible citizens yourself, because if you are good, your children are just seeing what you are doing. They are just grasping, just as you were talking about amoeba being the smart animal. Kids, they are the smartest animals. They are the smartest. They want something, they will be on the floor and I want it, and you just buy, They are the best customers because they know what they want. And sometimes we say, oh, he's a kid, he doesn't know. But no, it's not like that. Give them the right things at the right times, because they're taking everything, they're grasping everything every day like a sponge. You give them good things, they will take good things and keep it. You give them bad things or use bad language, they will repeat the same. And you'll be like, oh my God, he's saying such bad words. Don't forget, you were saying those unintentionally or unknowingly, and they just grasp those like a sponge and they use it when and where they want to use. Then we have the responsibility of the judge, so that he gives the right judgment. That is your legal responsibility. That also plays a very, very important role, that we take it as and when required. We don't have criminals moving freely. It is done at the right time, at the right place. Which also comes with the political system. When we say legal responsibility, it's the work of the politicians of the country to be responsible for the country, not for themselves. Not to fill their pockets, but to see the responsibility and be responsible for the nation where they are. Then we have something which each one of us have to have is the CSR, that is corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility is something very important that each one of us should try to just take it, just swallow it with water and keep it to in your body all the time. It was in Switzerland that I learned, when you eat something, you just don't throw it. Like, you are having a banana and you throw the banana peel thinking, oh, it's okay, I'm done with it. But someone will come and fall down. It's your corporate social responsibility, your civic sense. Each one of us is responsible just as for our actions, so is for the society as well. Wherever you live, if you keep just your house clean and throw the dirt outside, you think I'm in a clean place, but tomorrow when those mosquitoes or the insects, they start coming, they are going to make your life difficult. So again, you have to have that CSR to make things wonderful, peaceful, and at the same time, it is long term. It should not be short term. It should not be something which you are thinking for a short period of time. It has to have for a longer duration of time. Then comes human values. And as I said, all these three, one thing leads to another. Free will followed with responsibility, whether you do it as a moral responsibility or as a social responsibility. Then comes your human values, which help us as standards to make a decision on the basis of the correct things or the bad things. It's like a standard, it's like a social standard that are fundamental beliefs that help to distinguish between right and wrong for human beings in action. This adds balance and meaning in life. Values enable individuals to live together within a society. Values are not innate, however, they are learned and transmitted through observation and interaction. The more you discuss, the more you do, people will just follow. And value is something which always is a constitution from your culture, where you come from. That never goes. It doesn't matter whether you have been here for 18 years or 20 years or 30 years. The origin, which country that you come from, whether you come from Russia, India, China, Japan, whichever part of the world you come from, your innate culture will never leave you. Even if you are second generation or third generation, that will stay with you because that's what your values are. That's what your roots are. Never leave your roots. Your values are something you are born with. You nourish it with the period of time, with your parents or with your grandparents. And that is something that you learn as you grow. It's very important for each one of us here. We have to have very good human values. We have to have very good values that connect us with other humans. The human values which we all should believe or try to take the best from each one. I'm not a preacher. I'm a motivational speaker, but I still say, I can only motivate you. At the end of the day, it's your free will which box resonates in the right way. Which box is clicking the green tick and which box is clicking the red cross. It's totally up to you what you take. Truth, right conduct, love, non-violence and peace. Don't think they are just theory or they look very good in the picture. It's not like that. You have to believe, if you have to bring Satyug back, you have to believe in these human values completely. You have to live with them. You have to have a green tick in as many situations as possible. And wherever there is a red cross, try to reason out. Try to see how I can convert that red cross into a green tick. And again, it's your free will. You make a choice. You decide. No one else decides for you. Free will, responsibility, and values, they are all interconnected. And as I said, it is like a cyclical thing. One connects to the other thing. They are like cells, intertwined with each other. So that's why, again, we have the relation with science. They all connect with each other. You can't move it out, because the more you see one thing, it leads to another. Free will is the ability to choose between different possible courses of action. Responsibility is what you think is good at that point of time or not good at another point of time. And human values are the standards that help you to decide between right and wrong actions at different situations. We had been having a lot of quantical or quality or qualitative analysis or quantitative analysis in the other presentations. But I believe in having more real life connections, or I believe in having more situations where each one of you can relate. Here we have Mr. Gandhi, who's known as the father of nation of India, Bapu. He says, be the change you want to see in the world. If you want to see something good, to be good yourself, do good yourself. You can't just say, be good, do good, when you are always doing bad things. So if you want to see the change, be the change yourself, and rest will follow. Then Sadhguru, I already said, he said responsibility is limitless. It never stops. It goes on and on. Just as your Pdca, plan, do, check, act of quality circles. It never stops. You have to have a consistent approach and results will follow. Go on, keep doing with zero expectations and things will happen just like a magic. But you have to make that magic happen. It doesn't happen like a fairy tale. We have Princess Diana, who was known as the Queen of Hearts. She paved her way in the Buckingham Palace by the virtue of what she was. She was one princess whom people still remember or still go at her death anniversary or birth anniversary to put flowers, because she actually became a princess of hearts.
And she was killed for it.
Exactly. Lot of people who do good. If you see the history, in each country we have these examples. People who do good, people who are honest, they always lose their life. Because others don't realize their importance, or others think of them as a very strong threat. It happens everywhere. We have example of even our Prime Minister of India as of now, Mr. Modi. He is one revolutionary leader who is actually doing a lot of things for getting rid of the pollution, of getting rid of a country which has so much pollution and poverty. He started a lot of new concepts of Swachh Bharat, educate the girl child, Beti Bachao, because there are a lot of things, in India, for the girl child, they would kill the girl in the fetus. So one man can't make a change. He can just bring a revolution. He can just get it happen. But we need a group of people to make it actually happen. It's the values that connect people. You can't make it happen just by one-man army. We say we need to have an army to win a battle, and that army is the values, the responsibilities and free wills. If you have these three well connected, well researched, things will just follow. It will be there. We have Mother Teresa, who could have had a life, really a good life in the country where she came from, Romania. But she chose to go to places where people would not even dare to think. They would not even dare to go. She was taking care of the leprosy patients. I don't know how many of you have seen leprosy patients. Anyone has seen? Okay. Not many people think of even touching them or even going near to them. Forget about touching them, even going near to them. And she was actually healing them, touching them, giving them love and affection, which at that point of time, not many people would think. Now with science and technology, so many new things have come, things have changed. But here, if you see, she was doing everything selflessly. I would like to quote my parents as well. I'm a product of these two intercultural network for women, where I try to think and talk in terms of Shakti Bandhan. Shakti Bandhan means when you are connected, you can do things, you can do miracles. You have to connect, you have to get all positive people together. And I'm trying to do that with the women in my commune and with other villages. It's a very small approach, but I believe in it. I strongly believe in it, because if as a woman you are happy, as a mother you are happy, you can make a lot of things happen. You can really change the people's thinking, the people's mindset. Because if the woman is happy, things go wow. They go as comme il faut, how it should go. But history is also an example to see. It's over women, lot of wars have taken place. If it's positivity, it's the woman. If it's negativity or something which is not fine, again it's the women. It's always the bone of contention. So I believe it's a very small effort from my side. I believe in having more and more people who are like-minded, who are well-connected, who do things the way it should be done. And with God given gifts like free will and thought, comes the moral responsibilities and actions and human values as guidance. You have to have something as a guidance which guides you to lead and do good in the society. And it never stops until you believe in it and you make it happen. And I would like to thank all the people because of whom I am here today. First and foremost, thank you so much, Mr. Daniel, Janan, Mr. Patrick, Mr. Darko, who gave me this fabulous opportunity to be here, present here. He believed something in me just with a casual discussion of visit to the temple. And he told me to come, and I'm so pleased because this is not my forte. I speak on women empowerment. I speak on education for children and for adults. I speak on emotional intelligence. In the era of artificial intelligence, I speak on emotional intelligence because it's through emotions we connect. If you have the connection via emotions, miracles will happen. My family, my parents, and of course, constant support of my parents who kept on giving me feedbacks, what you should say and what you should not. My family, because they gave me time to research, because this was not my area, but I wanted to do it as a challenge because of Daniel, who gave me this opportunity and he wanted me to do it. And of course, special thanks to one gentleman, Mr. Ashok Dulu, who helped me with my research. I really worked a lot on my research to present these things. It might be just 15, 16 slides, but a lot of reasoning has gone behind the scenes to make the synopsis and come up with these ideas. Thank you so much for being patient and listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have questions? It's on.
I don't dare anymore, but I would have.
You dare.
Okay. You've said two things which contradict in my mind a little bit. First, you shouldn't look at the future, live today. Right? And on another occasion you said you have to think long term, which is business.
Mm-hmm.
So what is important? I think it's always in personal life important to look a little further, not only for the next 3 hours. Second, I want to comment, there's a saying, there are no Wunderchildren, Wunderkinder in German. There are only Wundermütter, there are only wonderful mothers. And I believe very much in that. Yes, and then about the free will, you say, if you do your free will, you have always a choice. There's also a saying in German, des Menschen ist sein Himmelreich. Des Menschen Wille ist sein Himmelreich. But there is a connection also, it might be the hell too. The man's will is his heaven, but it might be the hell too. So it's very important to consider it.
Thank you very much for the question. What I meant was, do not think about the future all the time. You have to have a futuristic approach. When I say futuristic approach, that is by sowing the right seeds. When the kids are small, you are doing your things in a gentle way. You are doing it. It's like think big or think for the future. Because if you are giving the right things to your kids, you know that in the future they are going to be right citizens. They are going to be right. So I'm not contradicting. What I meant was we waste so much time in thinking about the future, but we are not living the present. We have to live the present, that is take care of the family, spend time with your family, spend times with your loved ones, do right things at the right time.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I wanted. You do the things, you have the connection, and then other things will just follow. But we are so engrossed in thinking about the future that we don't live the present. That is what I wanted to say.
Someone else?
Thank you for your speech. It reminds me the Srimad Bhagavatam class. And sometimes we have to allow also the providence to play in our life. This I was taught in my life many times. Sometimes it's above my head. I can do management, anger release, everything, and then looking for my health. Sometimes I'm forced to leave the providence or God's will in my life to play and to give up the control. Isn't it true? Or is it not true? Is it a good question or is it a bad question?
No, it's true. Like sometimes it's a very good question. Thank you so much. It's totally, again, when you are in a dilemma of choosing the right profession, a lot of people say you are going to be a great politician because you speak very well, but you don't like politics. So it's that kind of a dilemma. You have to believe in what you want to do. Others can just think. Others are not going to do that for you. They are just going to talk. They're just going to give you ideas. But at the end of the day, you have to make a choice. After doing masters in business administration, everyone thought, I had a job with Colgate, everyone thought she's going to be a very successful businesswoman. But I chose to teach because I wanted to teach. I believed in that. And when I came here, it was not easy for me to establish myself in a male-dominated business university because I had all these professors who had 20 years experience, 15 years experience. And when I started, some of them, they thought I'm a student. And they wouldn't even sometimes let me in the faculty room. So it's not easy. If you believe in what you want to do, nothing can stop you from doing that. But you first have to believe in yourself, because when you believe in yourself, you will make others believe. And others will just follow. Then rest becomes history.
Any other feedback, comment, question?
First of all, thank you, Ruby. It's a really motivational speech, yeah, you did. And I'm really inspired the way you spoke about the human values. Yeah, more closer? Yeah. Human values which we are losing in this time, where the children, they're losing their parents, the relations are like more getting weaker. We just celebrate Mother's Day or Father's Day, that's it, yeah. But being an Indian, I have seen how the parents, they have really struggled to raise their children and give these values. So we still have these, and I appreciate that you are also doing that, and me too. And the one more thing I would like to add is responsibility. You have said it. I would say responsibility is more like an agreement to yourself. You do agreement, you accept that agreement. Yeah, the acceptance is there. Your mind and heart has to be equally on their position to think things very clear. Okay, I am really responsible. I'm doing it, and during this process, because I have responsibility of 2 kids, so I can make out. Yeah, it is like a very tough time when you take a responsibility. Rather, you're working at home or outside in the corporate world, and in this way, yeah, when you take a responsibility, that means there's like a acceptance. You have taken acceptance for that doing the work in your hand, and then we are like more confident about it. Okay, I am really responsible for that work. That's what I really wanted to add in your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Isn't the religious life the life of parents, the life of self-denial, self-sacrifice for the purpose of true love?
I would not call it sacrifice, I would call it investment in future. We did that decision as well when we decided to stay in Switzerland. I and my husband, we decided that one of us has to work part-time, because I didn't want my children to have values which I am not comfortable with. So I did that. I made that decision with a very profound mind that I want to do that. And I started working, even though I was the dean of a college. At a very young age, I became the dean. I was less than 30. But because my director believed in my values, he appointed me the dean, which I was partially working from home and partially at the office. And I did that because I wanted my children to think like me. I wanted my children to believe in our values, because we are away from motherland. So I call India my Janm Bhumi, but Switzerland as my Karma Bhumi. It's here that I made my career as a very successful business professor. But at the same time, I invested in the future by taking care of the children by staying home. So I was working 50%. All through my life, I've worked 50%. I've never worked more, maybe 2 days or 2 half days or 3 half days. And I'm very proud that my children are doing very well because I invested in the future. And I don't call it sacrifice, because by calling sacrifice, I'm putting it in the negative bracket. It is not sacrifice. It is just doing something as my moral responsibility, which she just said. It's my moral responsibility which I did. But I don't have any expectations from my children in the future. It's their free will to choose what they want to do. I did not do this because tomorrow I'm expecting my son to take care of me when I'm old, or my daughter to be with me. No, I don't have my expectation. I did my karma and rest will follow. So it's just again with Bhagavad Gita that it says, Neki kar kuएं में डाल, कर्म किए जा, फल की चिंता मत कर. So what I have done, my responsibility, my actions will come. I don't call it sacrifice. It is just an investment for putting the right foundation in the children, and other things will come as they have to come.
So one last question, and then we have a discussion.
Okay. Well, continuing this discussion, and I want to know your opinion. So, like, if you look from a one-life perspective, then investment in children is a charity or sacrifice. It's correct, because actually you don't get any benefits from it just by staring at kids and how cool they live. No, like, I didn't live like that, you know. But if you look from a multi-life perspective, what Vedanta is actually teaching is that they're saying how much you do for your kids this life, as much your next parents will do in your next incarnation. So then the question, the short question, what's your understanding of relationship between words karma and destiny?
See, when I was giving my speech, I said very clearly, I live life every day. I don't believe in 7 generations or 7 life after death. You know, Hinduism just says about it, reincarnation or karma. I believe in karma. I am a very strong believer of karma. But I don't believe in something that I'm laying a foundation for my next life. Who knows? Who cares? Whether I'm going to be a woman, a human being in my next life, or I'm going to be a donkey. Who knows? It's a big question. It's a big question. Once you are dead, you are gone. You are forgotten if you did not do something meaningful or significant in your life.
Me not. I'm sure what I was and what I will be. The question was, what is the relationship between words karma and destiny, according to you?
Okay, karma is what you are doing, your present, what you are doing, keep doing without any expectations. That is something which I always say. And destiny is something which is written for you. by Hinduism, as it says, if it is destined to happen, it will happen.
You mean by somebody else?
Not somebody else.
No,
it is
written
when you
for
say
you by whom?
no, destiny, as the term says. If you see the dictionary meaning of destiny, it is something.
I'm asking your definition.
Okay, destiny is something for me.
Actually.
Destiny is something which is supposed to happen in this lifetime. It will happen. The situations which are written for you, whether in the books,
By whom? Written for you by whom?
in the horoscope, for example, because we have horoscopes.
Who is the author of this destiny?
Of
Who
the
has written
horoscope.
it for you?
The God.
God.
The God. He is, that's what I said. If you believe in him, he's there. If you don't believe in him, he's not there. So something has been written. As we say, a hero is born for you. You are not aware you're a kid, but someone somewhere is born for you who's going to be your Prince Charming.
So karma is something written by you, and destiny is something written by God.
Exactly.
Okay.
Destiny is something that is there. Karma is something which is in your hand. You are responsible for it. You do it. You make your life. You can even change your destiny, because if you believe in something, like a lot of people who say you're a doctor's son, you will become a doctor. But there have been situations, there have been real life situations where a dacoit's son, a person who kills people, his son became a doctor. Or every day if you read the newspapers, there are a lot of people who are poor, who have no means of studying, who have no means of being in a good college or education, but they have become someone very important in life. So karma is in your hand, and destiny is something which is there. If it is supposed to happen, it will happen no matter what you do.
Can I comment?
Yes.
Can I add a small comment?
Yes.
You will not be angry with me?
No, not at all. It's your free will, you're free to talk.
So, his question is quite relevant. Today, many people, because they have no knowledge, I'm a student of Bhaktivinoda Swami since 35 years, studying Bhagavad Gita, definition between karma and destiny. Karma is the action we perform.
Mm-hmm.
Karma in Sanskrit means action
Actions.
and reaction. In Bhakti Yoga, we can learn how to become akarma, means how to eradicate the karma. This is what we can learn in Bhakti Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
This is relevant with the Vedic culture. So akarma, to become akarma means no more reaction. We can do activity, means if we are in the line of the laws given by God,
Mm-hmm.
or the laws of natural nature, then we are akarma. But if we reject, like in the government,
Mm-hmm.
we have to drive on the right side. Government Swiss, we have to drive on the right side, isn't it? But if we are in England, if we are in UK, we have to drive on the left. So if I'm in Switzerland, I say I don't care about the government, the laws of the government.
Mm-hmm.
I will drive on the left side. Then I become a criminal. Isn't it? So this is karma. So to become a criminal is going even against the law of the government, or going against the law of God. I believe, or I don't believe in God. The laws of material nature, they are controlled by God. So destiny, as Bhaktivinoda Swami says, a man is a creator of his own destiny. If a man wants to create his own destiny, he should act according to the laws given by the material nature, or the laws given by God. That's all. If he rejects the laws given by God, he creates his own destiny. Then he rejects his own original creator or father. If a man wants to reject the laws given by the government, he becomes a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, there is a destiny. Then he has to be put in jail.
No, but that's exactly what I said. You are the creator of your own destiny. It's karma. You do your things the way you have to do. It's totally in your hands. How you want to do, what you want to do, that is your course of action. So that's why karma is your thing, which is man-made. Man is doing it, like you are doing it yourself. Whether you positive or negative, you are doing it with your free will. And destiny is something that can be changed. Again, as I said, destiny, it's already written. If you are supposed to become a high profile doctor or a high profile businessman, you will become. But you will not just become because someone has written for you or someone told you by sitting at home. You need to work for it. And as I said, the fruit will not fall until you don't, shake the tree or make an effort. The fruit will only fall if you make an effort to make it fall in your mouth. So man creates his own destiny, but you have to work for it. Magic doesn't happen on its own.
We start the discussion. I suggest the speakers can sit at the table. And thank you very much.